One love, job bless. Fire Nelson here, and today I'm going to talk to you about spiritual warfare. So, along our spiritual journey of, becoming more awakened to what's going on in society and within ourselves, and just in general, along our journey, we start to pick up on information and, wisdom that shows us that the world really isn't what it is portrayed to be. And there's a lot of different, I don't know if you want to call them entities or spirits or even people, you can just call them people, demons, some call them reptilians. Well, there's a lot of different people in this world that seem to be only out to profit and suck people dry of any truth. And it's very strange. It's very strange that we live in this type of world, and when we start to awaken to these things, it's very important that we don't get discouraged and become negative and think that we can't eat anything, we can't wear anything, we can't brush our teeth or use deodorant or, wash our hands with anything. It's not that you want to go into this type of OCD type of thinking, but you want to be cautious and be aware of the steps you take next, because I can't even say the products you use, because it's deeper than that. The spiritual warfare that's going on is deeper than just products, deeper than just entertainment and stuff like this. It's everything combined into one. When you start to truly awaken and you start to really build your wisdom and knowledge, you'll realize how unaligned the society is. And it's not just America, it's all societies. There's corruption in all countries. One country might be better at providing, more healing foods and foods that aren't contaminated, but there's also, it's also a communist country and they have no say in their rights. So it seems like there's a unbalanced scale going on in the world when there needs to be balance. It shouldn't be one way or the other, or we're voting for this politician because of these things, but they're not going to support these topics. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be we want, structure, but if we want structure, then all of a sudden we don't have democracy and we can't do this and this and this. We don't have to think in such black and white terms. We can think in ways of figuring out how, as a people, we can start taking down these corporations that are only influencing us and affecting us in negative ways. So what is spiritual warfare? It's called in many different terms, but we call it spiritual warfare. The Muslims call it jihad. A lot of people think jihad is a terrorist, act and stuff like this. But no, it's really spiritual warfare. It's what we're going through all the time. It's us fighting lust. It's us fighting greed. It's us fighting these addictive foods and TV shows and chemicals. It's us fighting off, not doing drugs and drinking all day and gambling away all your money and all different other bad habits. It's us not killing people and being, wrathful and holding grudges against people and trying to hurt people. And it's us fighting this holy battle, this holy war that we're in right now. We're truly in a spiritual war. So we have to realize that regardless of whatever country, ethnicity, religion you're in a spiritual war right now, because the top and the elite people, the people that are distributing the foods to us, don't have our best intentions at heart. Of course, there's some, of course now there's a lot more organic foods, but to what extent do we even know if those are truly organic? And is just because the food itself wasn't sprayed, Are we sure that the soil was good? Are we sure that the people handling it made sure that they were using the right type of precautions so it doesn't get cross-contamination with, maybe some pig feces or whatever? So what really is, and what were they watering it with? What was the pH level of the water that they're watering it with? Where were they getting the water from? How much chlorine was in the water? So we've gotten to a point where there's less nutrients in the soil, less nutrients in the foods. And the foods that they do feed us, 9 times out of 10, are so processed and beat up that they provide so little nutrients, and they're so far away from their true nature that it's saddening. It's barely doing anything for our body, truthfully, as it could be doing. Of course, it's doing some benefits, of course, but compared to what that same food used to do 200, 400, 1,000 years ago, it's mass difference. And this is what they're doing, and they're continuing to do this with the fake meats, and you might think that fake meats is only the vegan meats. They put fake stuff in your regular meat as well, Meat isn't supposed to be just so bright red and, completely looking like it was just cut that day. Because 9 times out of 10, that meat had to go from one place to another place to another place. Hopefully just only those few places just to get there. So that meat truthfully probably looks more gray and yellow, and you can see some of the meat after a couple of days start turning that color. That's because they put additives in your meats even to make it be that bright red color. We have to realize that they don't care. It's really spiritual warfare. They don't care out here. And the faster we wake up and we stop playing victim and pity party about it, and just change our diet and do what we can, by going to farmers market, shopping more organic, and not consuming stuff where you look at the back of it and you can't even spell it or pronounce it or anything. You're like, what is this? You're like, okay, yeah, pepper, okay, no one really want to be doing salt and sugar, but you see salt, you see sugar, okay, hydroflaxolide. What? You don't need to be consuming these things. You need to be consuming stuff at the most pure basis as possible. You want to consume more nuts, consume more berries, consume more, vegetables. We want to get off of these dairies, these meats in general. We want to get off these products that are destroying not only our bodies, but our mental. You see the stuff they put into these meats, the hormones they put into these meats, it's affecting us. It's affecting the way that we grow, and it's affecting the way that we develop mentally, physically, and spiritually. And it's blocking a lot of our spiritual progress and filling us with anger and anxiety and depression, because this is what these animals had. We are harnessing the energy of these animals into our lives. And that's why you see the world in the state it is, because there's so many meat eaters. There's so many people not only eating meat, of course, but there's so many people consuming things that are destroying themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Even if you brush your teeth with a non-fluoride free toothpaste, it's calcifying your pineal gland, which helps you awaken, which helps you think clearly, which helps you relax and realize and analyze situations and be able to retain information. That pineal gland is that third eye, and that's what fluoride does and calcifies it. That's what the chloride or chlorine and stuff that they put into our tap waters does. If you drink it straight tap water, it calcifies that gland. And they're doing this. They might say this is the only way to clean the water, and maybe it's so. Maybe that's the only way that company knows how to make toothpaste that really whitens your teeth. But I think it's a bunch of lies. Personally, I think they know exactly what they're doing. They know that they're calcifying people's pineal gland. They know they're making people be sick and toxic mentally, physically, and spiritually by the products they're consuming, by the water they're consuming, by the showers that they're taking, by the, aluminum filled products that they're putting under their armpits that's going straight into your bloodstream. Your armpits should have no aluminum, no heavy chemicals being put onto them. I even went like a month or two without doing deodorant, and honestly, it's not that bad. If you don't have if you're not out and you're sweating constantly, like if don't have like a strenuous job or something like that where you're just guaranteed to sweat that day or something like this, you don't need to be putting on deodorant, honestly. You can make yourself a little lemon spray, dilute it with some water, maybe add a couple drops of lavender oil, and spray that on your armpits. Lemon or lime, fresh lemon and lime. Don't get the lime juice. Get fresh lemon or lime, squeeze it, put it into a little spray bottle or whatever you want. Add whatever essential oil you want in there, lavender, cinnamon, anything, and spray that on your armpits. And I'm telling you, you will not stink. You will smell amazing. But there's a lot of aluminum-free deodorants. Tom's is really good. That's something I use. And there's a lot of fluoride-free toothpaste. But we have to start looking outside the box. We have to not let these people affect us, because even if we don't think it's affecting us, once you stop doing these things, you'll realize it was affecting you. Like of course, it's a combination of everything we're doing in our spiritual journey as well, of course. But you realize how much silliness comes with consuming these products once you continue to build your discipline, continue to build your spiritual practice, building your wisdom and your knowledge. You'll realize when you stop doing this and you hold that discipline, how easy it is to not consume these products. And I say easy, but it actually isn't easy. It takes awareness, because lots of products are toxic. Lots of products say they're organic or say they're this and that. But if it's processed, if it's, a cornflake, if it's, in a can, it's not organic. I mean, it just isn't. It's being tampered with so much that it's not the organic state. Those beans, even in the can, and I'm guilty of getting those beans too, but those beans, even in a can, get cooked a little bit before they get completely closed. And then they're closed while they're cooked, and probably still cooking, and they cool, and that's how it's made. It's not like it's fresh beans uncooked completely. Like, no, those beans are already good to go, only need 10 minutes to heat up, because they're already been cooked, they've already been processed, and they've been put into a can. So regardless if it's something that is quote unquote healthy, if it's not the original, if it's not organic, if it's not farmer's market, if it's not the original bean where you have to soak it overnight and boil it and this and that, it's not organic. It's not healing foods. It's part of the chemical warfare that they're playing with us. They know that we're waking up and we're going to want alternative products. That's why the Bill Gates of this world are buying all this farmland and, trying to control our foods. These people aren't doing it out of the generosity of their heart. I wish that was the case, but unfortunately, that's not the case. The people who are doing it out of the generosity of their heart are the people at the farmer's market coming every single week and making sure that they can sell their fresh vegetables and products. And hopefully that's not tampered with, because I'm just trusting in the Most High that's pure, And if you want to, you can go to people's farms and do things like this, but I'm trusting in the Most High that hopefully that at least isn't tampered with, because it's hard out here. I know it's hard out here. And we have to eat at the end of the day. Yes, we should be fasting, here and there, but we have to eat. We have to, brush our teeth. We don't want to be spending a bunch of money going to the dentist So there's things that we have to do. We have to wash our face. We have to take a shower. But we have to wake up and try to do these things in the most conscious ways possible. You know, we want to do these things in a way that we can pass down to our next generation these practices, and they become a habit. You know, like my last video is, sometimes we have to suffer less. And sometimes doing these things and changing up your whole products and changing up your whole refrigerator and cabinet, it's going to take some suffering. But it's false suffering, because it's really beneficial. Something that's suffering is, you know, you going through pain that's only going to end in a scar. But if you go through pain so that you can learn more later, then it isn't suffering. That's the difference. So we have to realize that sometimes we have to build this discipline and do these things so that we can truly pass down this knowledge and wisdom to our next generations and help them not be so calcified in their pineal gland. Help them not be stricken with so much depression and anxiety, not be stricken with so much confusion about the world. Be able to stop and smell the flowers, smell the roses, enjoy the nature, enjoy the presence of this beautiful earth, and not think that we are living in lack and greed and fear, because this is what they want us to do. This is how they want us to think, and this is how they want us to be. We have to realize that it is spiritual warfare, and honestly, we just have to do better at who we support, because as long as we keep giving these people money, they're going to keep on making these products, making these TV shows, making this music that is destroying not only us, but our people, our children, our family, and the generations to come. People are putting money behind these destructive types of music. People are putting billions of money behind this destructive music, this destructive TV and entertainment that we have, even on our apps. So people are putting billions behind this. People are paying, the Kim Kardashians millions just to make a post on Instagram. So we have to stop supporting these people. We have to realize it's a spiritual warfare, and there's actual people, occult people that are up there, whether you call them reptilians, elites, evil spirits, whatever. These people that are up there know about this spiritual warfare that's going on, and they're doing spiritual rituals of darkness to help progress them, to help get them to where they want to be into this life, and which is making this place a slave planet and sucking us dry until that they feel like they have had everything and had profited everything off of our souls. So you can do the research yourself, but this is a real thing that's going on. We are in a spiritual warfare, and it's not a scary thing if you have the wisdom and you're using that wisdom. So continue to use your wisdom, continue to grow your wisdom, continue to do your spiritual practices, and pray for not only yourself, but the whole entire world, your whole family, your whole community, your whole city, your whole state, your whole world, the whole earth, the whole universe, because they need it. Because just as many people are praying for the world, there's a bunch right now praying for the world's demise, praying to just get everything for themselves, selfishness and greed. So if you haven't, please show love, subscribe, like, comment, share. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, and be strong out there. We're warriors. Don't be scared. We're spiritual warriors out here, and we're ready to face whatever comes in our path. Because now we know better, we do better. We're in a spiritual war. We're in a holy war. So we need to wake up and do our part to help, do our part to be a warrior, to be a shepherd, to help lead people into salvation, into the truth, and out of the darkness. One love.